Today I'm going to be making some natural edged bowl pieces. I'm going to start off with making this into a little bird's mouth bowl, and then I might do a few other natural edged items as well. So here we go. Okay, so first I'm going to mount it in a step drive, which I've eyeballed roughly where the middle is. There. It's not a very even log, so I'll take a bit of fiddling to get the centre. So I'm just using a 3/8 bowl gouge to get a general shape for the outside of the bowl. Just carefully taking off those rough edges and being mindful of rubbing the bevel and not getting a catch. Although it's only a small piece of wood, it's quite knobbly and uneven, and I'm already getting to understand that I'm unlikely to get a proper bird's mouth out of this because it's lopsided. But hey ho, it's worth persevering with. So just dressing the bottom to remove the unevenness, and then measure up and pop the tenon on, ready to turn it round and put it into the chuck. And then some more shaping and blending, trying to actually find the shape that this piece of wood wants to turn out to be. Still not sure whether I'm going to get a bird's mouth on one side or on two sides or on no sides, because as I said, it is quite lopsided. So I've kind of got a bit of a shape that seems to feel about right, but it's very clear that it's got a very lopsided layout to it. So it's going to be an interesting little bowl. So just do a few more finishing cuts and then a bit of sanding, and it's ready to go into the chuck on the other end. Right, Jacob's chuck and an Axminster Evolution carbide cutter. So now I've got the central hole down to depth. I'm just going to open out the mouth of the bowl a little to define the shape that I want at the top. And then after I've opened out the top a little, it's a question of following the outer shape but on the inside of the bowl gouge and hollowing it out. But as you go, it becomes more obvious that the lopsided nature of the piece is such that I'm going to be cutting down much more on one side of the bowl and creating an open space, and the other side's going to be fairly solid by the looks of it. To help get better access to the inside and help with the bevel rubbing that you need, I've moved the headstock at 45 degrees so that I can get the tool in more easily. At this point, it's really important that the bevel rubs properly on the inside of the bowl, hence the reason why the tool handle is cranked right over to 45 degrees to my right, because otherwise you'll get a catch on that whirling edge. It's only a small bowl, but you still need to have good tool control, otherwise things can go wrong very quickly. Because of that whirling edge, I decided to use a negative rake scraper just to finish off the bottom and blend it in to the sides. And then time for some sanding using various sanding sticks and going through the grades. Again, don't stick your finger in there because that whirling edge will end up with you being called stumping very quickly. And now for the finishes, some cellulose sanding sealer, some chestnut sanding sealer first. Let that soak in, then Yorkshire grit to buff it up, and then some wax, which will be the Hampshire Sheen High Gloss wax afterwards. The final polishing is in much part done by hand because of the open edge making it difficult to buff it whilst it's spinning. So just then parted it off and cut the last bit off. The base will be sanded by hand afterwards, and there we have it, a little, well, sort of lopsided bird's mouth bowl that's only a bird's mouth on one side.